could be looking at just about anything in the world right now, but you have chose to look at this, and for that I appreciate it. Today we're going to be looking at standard form, all right? And you're going to geek out. You're not going to know what's going on. But I'm going to do my best to explain it, so maybe you pause it, rewind it, listen to it again, see if it makes a little bit more sense, and then you can come at me with your questions later. Okay, as we remember, standard form, going back to several episodes ago, standard form looks like this, all right? You know, slope-intercept form was y equals mx plus b. Standard form is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are numbers. Okay, they're just integers. Or, well, I mean, they don't have to be integers, they're just numbers. Okay? I mean, it could be 1/2, it could be 5, it could, A, B, and C are just numbers, okay? And your x and your y, stay your x and your y, all right? I know it's a crazy form to look at, and it's an even crazier form of how we're going to solve it, okay? This is what we're going to do. We're going to graph an equation based on an equation that's written in standard form like this, all right? So let's just get into an example and see if this helps you out here. We're going to use a table method in order to solve this. Guys, you can't look at the number that's in front of x and say that's the slope because it's not in slope-intercept form. The y is not by itself. Like, the output has to be by itself. So in order for us to do, slope and then the y-intercept, you would have to have the y value be by itself, all right? And you'd have to have an x, all right? So this one, the y is clearly not by itself. One way we could do this is we could get, the ax onto the other side of the equation and then divide both sides by b. We're not going to do that. Let's take a look at this example. Let's take just something very basic. 2x plus 4y equals, let's say 12. Okay. All right. This is how we're going to do this. We're going to make a table. How many points you need to make a line? You just need 2 points. We are going to use the 2 easiest numbers in the whole world. And let me stop you before you say 1. The easiest number in the whole world is going to be 0. All right? Because when we use 0, when we plug a number in for x and that number happens to be 0, it cancels out and it goes away. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to find the the y-intercept, which is what y'all are used to doing. We're going to find the y-intercept and we're going to find the x-intercept. And that's going to give us 2 ordered pairs. You plot those 2 ordered pairs and then you're done. All right? Because you just need 2 points to make a line. All right? So what we're going to do is, you're going to pick the numbers that go in for x. Well, this is going to look a little bit different. We're going to put 0 in for x, and we're also going to put a 0 in for y. We're going to figure out when x is 0, what is y, and then when y is 0, what is x. And that's, we're going to have a -4 here and a 3 there, and we're going to plot those 2 points and put a line through it. All right? So let's do that. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a 0 in for x. So just the math that's behind it. Let me get a different color here, just so it's a little bit, you can see a little bit better. We'll do blue. We're going to say 2 times 0 plus 4 times y equals 12. You with me? We just put the 0 in for x right here. So we got 2 times 0. Well, guys, 2 times 0 is 0. That cancels out. It's kind of like that goes away. So now we have 4y equals 12. Which number multiplied by 4 gives you 12? Yeah, it's a 3. Your first order pair is 0, 3. 0, 3 is right here. Okay? Now, this is what this part is probably a little bit news for you, all right? Stay with it. It's like, guys, you're not going to see too many questions like this. How many am I going to give you like this? I mean, I want you to understand the logic of it, all right? The process is more important than the product, like we've said. And I want you to see why we're doing what we're doing, all right? We're putting zeros in for your x and your y to make those variables cancel out. So you now have one variable in which you can solve for. So now we're going to put this 0, this one right here, put this 0 right here, and for this y right here. So we're going to have, this is going to be, what happened there? go in for y. Okay, and we're going to write everything else the exact way that it was written. We're going to write 2x plus 4 times 0 equals 12. Now this time, the 4 and the 0, the 4 cancels out. 4 times 0 is 0. So this time the y cancels out. It's like this term goes away. And what we're left with is 2x equals 12. 2 times what gives you 12? It's going to be 6. So your answer here is 6. That ordered pair, 6, 0. If we extend that line, oh boy, where'd it go? If we extend that line, 6, 0 is like all the way out here. You have just found, oh, it's not letting me do it. You just found your x-intercept where it's crossing the x-axis, which is at this point, and you found the y-intercept, which is crossing the y-axis, and you're going to put a point through it, okay? We're going to do our, this is where we start. We're going to do our xy table, always. We're going to put a 0 here and a 0 here. Yep. And we're going to figure out when x is 0, what is y? We're going to figure out this number down here. And when y is 0, what is x? So here's our graph right here. Oh, man, I'm going to put this out of the way this time. We're going to put the graph over here, and we're just going to be plotting 2 points, okay? I wanted to make that a little bit smaller. Cool. Now, we are going to place this x in, or this 0 in for x, all right? So we're going to put this 0 right here in for this x. So we're going to put a parentheses and a 0 right here. If y'all know shortcuts for how to get the colors and how to erase, I will give you bonus points. I'll get you lunch one day from Wendy's, which is right down the street. All right, figure out how to. I can do all this without whatever. All right, yeah. We have 5 times 0 minus 3y equals negative 30. All right, cool. 5 and 0 cancels out. You're left with negative 3y equals negative 30. You divide this side by negative 3, and you divide this side by negative 3. Or you could say which number multiplied by negative 3 gives me negative 30. Or a negative divided by a negative gives us a positive. So you would get y equals 10. Everybody see how we got that? I mean, you're just dividing negative 30 by the coefficient of y, which happens to be negative 3. So your y value here is going to be 10. Right? Cool. Get rid of this. We're done with it. All right. We're going to go on. You can pause it, rewind it if you didn't understand how we got that. All right. So I know I've erased my work. So if you want to know how I got that, just rewind it. Now, when this y is 0, we're going to plug that in for y. So here's where our 0 is going to go. Guys, we're essentially canceling out one of the variables. The first time it's x, and the second time it's y. That's all we're doing. 5x. Negative 3 times 0, 0. This goes away. Negative sign 2. All right, I lost you there. I'm going to try to do this quickly. So the negative 3 went away because we put a 0 in for y, and what we have left is 5x equals negative 30. All right? So 5 times what gives you negative 30? You divide both sides by 5, and you get x equals negative 6. So you're going to put negative 6 in for x. All right? Now, if we're going to do our graph, we have the 2 ordered pairs that we need. And we're just going to do a very, very quick sketch here. All right? We're just going to see where the 2 points would be. 0, 10 is way up here. And then negative 6, 0 is about, I'd say about right there. And then you put a line through it. That's it. All right, enjoy.